Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to the channel. I'm Cheryl and this is True Crime and Other Stuff. Thanks for being here. My goal is to bring you well-researched information and discussions on true crime, missing persons, current events, or anything I find interesting or important. Today we are returning to the case that has gripped the nation and hit home for everyone who turns into news every morning. We are talking about the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. It's been 10 days since she vanished from her Tucson home, and while news cycle is moving fast, the updates we received in the last 24 hours are, well, very chilling.
Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman.
This morning, the heart-wrenching message from Savannah Guthrie and her siblings, choking back tears, pleading for the safe return of their mother, Nancy.
Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again.
Police have said Nancy Guthrie was abducted from her home. In their Instagram post, her children refer to her by name and as a grandmother, encouraging any captors to see her as a person.
Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She's funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
In the scaled-down personal video, the Today host and her siblings are approachable and anguished.
Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you.
Their mother is 84 and relies on daily medication she cannot live without.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive.
If she is being held for ransom, her children say they are willing to listen and to talk.
As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us.
Unverified ransom letters were sent to several local television stations, including ABC affiliate K-Gun. Investigators are working to determine if they're legitimate or a cruel hoax.
They humanized their mother and talked in very kind, loving ways about her, because you're trying to touch the heart maybe of somebody who kidnapped or abducted or is holding their mother. And you just never know what switch it'll flip in people to maybe do the right thing.
The search is now intensifying with more manpower and new resources. The FBI is sending additional agents and experts in hostage negotiation and technology. Officials say Director Kash Patel is coming to personally oversee the operation. Investigators return to the home with a dog and put up tape indicating a crime scene. Overnight, her community prayed for Guthrie's safe return. The sheriff here has said he believes that Nancy Guthrie is alive. He has offered no suspects, though, in connection with her disappearance. The video is an invitation to negotiate. Savannah Guthrie and her siblings want proof their mother is alive and to find out what it will take to get her back.
Now to the latest developments in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie's mother, Savannah, and her siblings releasing a new message urging the safe return of their mother. Savannah references a possible ransom note Investigators are still trying to figure out if that note is authentic.
Meantime, cameras rolled as officers appeared at the home of Savannah's sister, Annie Guthrie, hours after that message featuring her was posted on Instagram. No word on what the officers were doing in that home, but the reporters on scene say they saw camera flashes inside. Believe the authorities were taking photos. Just another twist in what has been a heartbreaking search for this 84-year-old mother and grandmother. Here is ABC's Aaron Katursky.
This morning, 1 week after police say Nancy Guthrie was abducted from her home in the dark of night, her children are grasping for some way to get their mother returned. Savannah and her siblings clutching hands in that Instagram post that begs, bring her home.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Law enforcement sources told ABC News the message is the same one received Friday by a Tucson television station. The FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department said they had been analyzing it, but the sources said they have not determined its authenticity. An earlier, also unverified message included a deadline of tomorrow.
While we advise and recommend from a law enforcement perspective, any action taken on any ransom is ultimately decided by the family.
Savannah's gut-wrenching plea came at the end of the day with no new investigative leads. Hours later, officers seen leaving her sister Annie's home, but still there are no suspects, no video, and no proof the 84-year-old in fragile health is alive. It has been a week since she failed to show up at church and her family reported her missing. Nancy Guthrie, who appeared with Savannah from time to time on the Today Show, now appears on billboards in Phoenix, El Paso, San Antonio, and Houston. Investigators returned to her home, inspecting cameras on the roof and towing a car. The FBI went door to door in her quiet desert neighborhood, hoping someone may have noticed something in the wee hours of last Sunday morning. That's when police said in a 45-minute period, a doorbell camera was disconnected, a possible intruder was detected inside, and Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker disconnected from her phone. The sheriff told us he has to believe she will be found.
Why would I operate from any other position than my team is operating from the same position? She's out there. We're going to find her. We have to operate from that position.
You have to have hope.
Absolutely.
Both local news outlets and to TMZ, demanding a certain amount of money in Bitcoin, setting two deadlines. One deadline was around 5 o'clock on Thursday. The next deadline, the looming deadline, is on Monday. Then we know that one of those news stations, KOLD, received another message from the potential abductor just yesterday morning. And I actually just finished an interview with the news director from KOLD just within the last hour or so. And what she told me is this. In the original ransom note, the ransom note that was sent on Tuesday, there was identifiable information that perhaps only somebody who was actually in Nancy Guthrie's home would be able to cite. The example given was the placement of a smartwatch somewhere inside Nancy Guthrie's home. I asked Jessica Bubala, the news director at KOLD, if this new message that arrived yesterday morning also contained those sort of details, something that perhaps somebody who only abducted Nancy Guthrie would know. And she did say that there were similarities in the details in this new message. And now we're getting this video from Savannah Guthrie and her siblings about a week from the last sighting of Nancy Guthrie and before this second Monday deadline that was originally cited in this Tuesday ransom note. Guys.
We begin tonight with the breaking news as we come on the air live here in the West. There are new developments at this hour in the search for Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. A law enforcement official briefed on the investigation, telling ABC News just moments ago that the Pima County Sheriff's Department, with assistance from the FBI, has now detained an individual for questioning in connection with the abduction of Nancy Guthrie Savannah Guthrie's mother. Let's bring in our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, leading us off with his late reporting here. Aaron, what have you learned about where this person was detained?
According to this law enforcement official briefed on the investigation, David, this individual was detained at a location south of Tucson. Law enforcement officials have obtained a search warrant to search a location associated with this individual. They are not at this point calling the individual a suspect or a person of interest, simply someone who has been detained for questioning in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. And it came, David, on a day of a breakthrough, the first images of a subject seen approaching Nancy Guthrie's house in a mask and gloves. Those first images coming just hours ago. Tonight, for the first time, the FBI releasing chilling images and videos of a subject in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. The video shows a masked man wearing gloves, a backpack, and with a weapon in his waistband approaching her front door. Authorities hoping the public will see the way this man walks, moves, his eyes, and that someone will recognize him. You can see the man with his hand in a glove trying to cover or block the lens on Nancy Guthrie's Nest Cam, using his other hand then to fiddle with the device. The man can be seen turning around and walking back to the arched entryway, looking down at the ground before grabbing brush. The subject, his eyes visible, walks back to the camera, appearing to tamper with it, trying to cover the lens. The images leave little doubt how terrifying it must have been for the 84-year-old grandmother with a masked figure, armed, showing up in the middle of the night. Authorities know every frame could hold clues that could lead to this subject's identity.
You can see his eyes. There's a possibility around his mouth that there's some facial hair.
You can get a lot of information now, not only off of the gloves and the front of the backpack, but also his height, his weight, that he may have had the mustache, the color of his eyes, potentially. Even though it is black and white, they may be able to go with the hue of his eyes.
And today, Savannah Guthrie quickly sharing the new images from the FBI on Instagram, posting, "Someone out there recognizes this person." And of her mother, she says, "We believe she is still out there. Bring her home." Sources told ABC News the Guthrie family was shown these images before they were made public and did not recognize the man. Tonight, the FBI says, after working closely with our private sector partners to continue to recover any images or video footage from Nancy Guthrie's home that may have been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible due to a variety of factors, the video was recovered from residual data located in back-end systems. Nancy Guthrie had a Nest camera at her front door. That company's owned by Google. And although you can record in real time, Guthrie did not have a current subscription to access the images. Google said it was assisting the investigation. Nancy Guthrie was last seen 10 days ago now, Saturday, January 31st, when her family dropped her home just before 10 p.m. after dinner and game night at her daughter Annie's house. It's not clear when these new images were recorded, but investigators say the doorbell camera disconnected at 1:47 early Sunday morning, and about 40 minutes later, Nancy's pacemaker app disconnected from her phone. Investigators say DNA tests confirm the spots of blood found at the front door were Nancy Guthrie's, and you can see that camera is gone. Over the weekend, the FBI spotted on the roof of Guthrie's home inspecting a different camera.
Are they able to get further video from that camera that they found above the residence over the weekend? If they're able to get more video, hey, maybe we'll get a car, maybe we'll get a picture of Nancy leaving the residence.
Tonight, this major break in the case comes after 2 deadlines passed from someone who claimed to be Nancy Guthrie's abductor. NBC reporting they demanded $6 million in Bitcoin. It's unclear tonight if authorities believe the person behind those demands was really the abductor, but the family had no choice but to engage, pleading for proof that their mother was still alive. That proof of life never came.
Return our mother to us.
And then Savannah and her siblings trying to reach that potential abductor by saying, "We will pay." They never heard back.
This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Tonight, with those deadlines passed and this new major break in the case, Savannah Guthrie saying of her mother, "We believe she is still alive," and she's hoping someone will recognize this masked man at her mother's front door.
He seems to be sort of disorganized about what he's doing. It looks like he's improvising at this point. His movements, his actions, to a certain extent his gait, he seems to walk a little stooped over. Those are all things that potentially can be helpful in identifying him.
All right, let's bring back in our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, with us live here for this West Coast edition of World News Tonight. Aaron, you broke the news a short time ago on the network that a person has been detained in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. As you reported there in your piece, this comes just hours after the FBI released its first images of a potential subject, a person retrieved by that Nest camera on the front of Nancy Guthrie's home. But we should make clear that authorities are not saying if there's any relation between these two or if, in fact, this person detained is the person seen in that video. All they're saying at this point is a person detained in connection with this case.
That's right, David. They are not saying the individual detained in connection with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance is a suspect or related at all to the video that the FBI put out as the public was digesting all of the video and heeding Savannah Guthrie's call to look at it to see if they recognized anything. Investigators were working still behind the scenes to identify whoever may have abducted her. And the authorities were seen speeding off, both the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI, to a location south of Tucson, where a short while ago, a law enforcement official briefed on the investigation told ABC News an individual was detained in connection with the disappearance and apparent abduction of Nancy Guthrie.
Well, we all
Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back. Okay, so we are on day 12 of the Nancy Guthrie investigation, and the desert heat is only rising. While the mainstream media is obsessing over a man who was detained and released in the Rio Rico, I want to talk about what they're not telling you. The timeline is just shifted 3 weeks into the past. The FBI has just issued a massive request for ring footage from January 11th between 9 p.m. and midnight. Why this date? My independent research into this suggests that the abductor wasn't just lucky, they were surgical. On January 31st, the suspect knew exactly where the camera was and how to hide it from it. Law enforcement now believes that he was at Nancy's house 21 days earlier. They weren't looking for a way in, they were watching Nancy's routine. If you live in the foothills, check your deleted or archived folders. Look for a dark SUV idling. That is your January 11th suspect. Yesterday, the search took a physical turn about a mile and a half from Nancy's home. Agents found a single black glove snagged in the roadside shrub. This matches the tactical glove seen and the mask on the masked figure on the FBI's recovered residual footage. And here's the kicker of investigators have seen leaving Nancy's daughter's wait, leaving Nancy's daughter Annie's house with a white trash bag and a stack of mail. Why the mail? In cases like this, it's often about looking for intercepted communications or bills that don't add up. Is the ransom a professional hit, or is this the investigation still looking into the inner circle? The paper trail might tell us more than the digital one. Okay, so there was a new letter just hit TMZ demanding a Bitcoin, about 70,000 just for a name. This screams amateur hour to me. Real kidnappers don't offer pay-per-view information to gossip sites. While Savannah and her siblings are bravely saying we will pay, we have to be careful that these vultures aren't leading the FBI on a wild goose chase while Nancy's medications are still on her kitchen counter unused. Okay, so the FBI has over 18,000 tips, but only takes one clear frame from a neighbor's camera on January 11th to break this wide open. Do your due diligence, check your footage, and keep the Guthrie family in your thoughts. I'm Cheryl. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next update. Thanks for watching. Peace.